Good morning everyone. Welcome in my online classroom. I am Mohammad Sayyidu Jaman, Associate Professor and Chairman Tourism and Hospitality Management, Mohammadpur India College, Dhaka. First of all, I would like to thank our Honorable Principal Professor Sir Jafar Ali sir gives his permission and advices to conduct the online classes. Students, I hope you all are well because of the COVID-19 breakout in the pandemic situation of the world. Now we are affecting second stages of COVID-19 breakout. We all are bound to stay at home. We are staying at home, but it does not mean we can sit idle. We have to work for our next days. So I am here to take your online class. I hope you all will give attention to my online class. Today I will take your online class on the subject Fundamentals of Management, BBA first year 7th semester, and also the chapter 7. Now the question is being discussed below. In the first question, what are the types of motivation? And the second question, Maslow need hierarchy theory and explain it. Now the question discussed below. In the first question, Maslow need hierarchy theory. That is important question in this chapter. And the Maslow Abraham H. Maslow, a psychologist, developed a theory called the need hierarchy theory. It is one of the oldest theory on motivation. Maslow was the view that human behavior is directed towards the satisfaction of certain needs. He classified human needs into 5 categories and arranged the same of the particular order as given below. And the first one, psychological needs. And the second stage, safety needs. And the third stage, love, social belongingness stage or needs. And the fourth needs, esteem needs. And the fifth, self-actualization needs. This is the 5 categories needs in define the Maslow need hierarchy theory. He is a psychologist, developed a theory. Maslow defined human behavior is directed towards the satisfaction of certain needs. He classifies human needs in 5 categories. In first category, psychological needs, that is important needs in the food, water, shelter, sleep and clothing is the psychological needs. And the safety needs, job security, freedom from war, poison, violence, that is the safety needs. Love, social or belongingness needs, family, friends and clubs. And the esteem needs, approval of family, friends, community, that is esteem needs. And the self-actualization needs, education, hobbies, personal growth, that is the self-actualization needs, and five category needs are important to the development of personal or organizational activities. And these needs in the psychological needs: heat, air, base salary, and the safety needs: jobs, work safety, job security, health insurance, belongingness or social needs: terms, debts, co-workers, clients, supervisors, and subordinates, and esteem needs: recognition, high status, and responsibilities. And the last is self-actualization needs: training, advancement, growth, and creativity. According to Maslow, lower needs take priority. They must be fulfilled before the others are activated. There are some basic common sense here. It's pointless to worry about whether a given color looks good on. We have to the dying of or being threatened with our life. According to the theory of if we are hungry and have inadequate shelter, we would not go to the other sides. We cannot do the higher things until we have to the lower things. But the poor tend to the more religious than the rich, both within a given culture, across nation, so that the makes the wrong prediction here. Maslow regarded the first three, psychological, safety, and social needs, as lower order needs, and the remaining two, esteem needs and self-actualization needs, is higher order needs. Now the needs is discussed below. In the first, psychological needs. Then psychological needs, they are a primary of the basic needs of a person that must be fulfilled. This include among others food, clothing, and shelters that are vital for the survival of mankind. A person cannot think the recognition of status when he is not able to earn adequately to satisfy his basic needs. So food, water, health, sleep, clothing is important to the mankind. And the next point, safety needs, that is important in the job security, freedom from war, poison, and violence, that is important in this category needs. The safety or security needs emerge once the basis of psychological needs of a person are fulfilled. Job security is one of the such need. People generally prefer secure jobs. Similarly, every employee wants to contribute to provident fund, insurance, and such other schemes that protect his interest, particularly in the old age when he cannot work and earn. So job security, insurance, and others is important in these areas. And the next stage, love or social belongingness stage or needs. At this stage, a person wants friendship, companionship, association, love, and affection of particularly those with whom to be mingles often. In the other workplace, he may long for the association of the fellow employees. In fact, it is for the reason that informal groups are formal within a formal organization. In the living place, he may desire to have the friendship of his neighbors. These days, people live in the fact of the common to find the association in every apartment. These associations are formed by the owners to talk after the common for the sake of peaceful coexistence and the family freedom and clubs in this stage is important to development mental or physical sides. And the next stage are needs, esteem needs. This needs approval of family, friends, and community. This needs arise in view of a person desire to have his ego satisfied. The satisfaction of these needs gives a person the feeling that he is above others. It gives a person self-respect, self-confidence, independence, status, recognition, and reputation. Some people show preference for luxury cars, expensive jewels, and so on, not just because they can afford it, but also due to the fact that possible of such goods satisfies their ego. That is approval of family, friends, and community. That is important things in this stage. And the last stage, self-actualization needs. According to Maslow, a person who reaches this stage wants to achieve all the one of the capable of achieving. In other words, a person wants to perform to his potentials. The desire to excel needs not necessarily be in the field one of the attached to. It can be in some other sphere also. For example, an actor or actress may excel in politics. That is the self-actualization needs in these factors. And this factor training, advancement, growth, and creativity in these sides. So Maslow developed a theory called the need hierarchy theory. It is one of the oldest theories on motivation. And the next question, types of motivation. That is important question in this chapter, types of motivation. And the first types on the basis of approach. Positive motivation, negative motivation. On the basis of incentives. On the basis of incentives, financial motivation, non-financial motivation. the third stage on the basis of the nature. Extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation, financial and non-financial motivation. That is the important types of motivation. First on the basis of approach, positive motivation and negative motivation. On the basis of incentives, financial motivation and non-financial motivation. On the basis of the nature, extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation, financial and non-financial motivation. That is the important types on this motivation. Motivation is generally defined as the force that compels us to action. It drives us to work hard and pursue his success. Motivation influences our behavior and our ability to accomplish goals. There are many different forms of motivation. Motivation can be classified on following several bases. In the first one, on the basis of approach, the positive motivation and negative motivation. And the positive motivation, that is important in the positive motivation. Positive motivation implies creation of an environment in which people can satisfy their needs and aspirations. Under its reward and incentives are offered to inspire employees. All necessary facilities are provided to workers. They are offered prizes and awards for the best performance. Positive motivation removes the psychological barriers and develops a sense of affiliation. That is important to the positive motivation, and the positive motivation increase the productivity. Negative motivation. Negative motivation involves creating a sense of fear or unhelpful environment. Workers who do not perform well are penalized. There is a cut in their facilities and remuneration. Negative motivation is based on pessimistic view which holds that only fear of punishment will force employment to improve their performance. That is the negative motivation. The motivation is fear or unhelpful environment. And the next, on the basis of incentive, financial motivation and non-financial motivation. That is financial motivation. Financial motivation implies use of monetary benefits to inspire employees. Financial incentives include wages and salaries, bonus benefits, retirement benefits, etc. Money plays an important role in motivation. Money helps to satisfy psychological and security needs of workers. Money is also useful in satisfying social needs to some extent because money is often recognized as a symbol of power, prestige, and status. Non-financial motivation. Non-financial motivation are not associated with monetary rewards. This includes recognition of work done, greater involvement in decision making, responsibility, challenging job, etc. Opportunity for growth are other important non-financial motivation. And the next point, on the basis of the nature, extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation, financial and non-financial motivation. Extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation do not occur on the job but around the job. These factors include pay allowances, bonus, and benefits. Extrinsic reward may be direct, which are like or linked with performance, and indirect compensation like free housing, conveyance, medical facilities, etc. Generally, direct compensation is more effective motivator. Intrinsic motivation, that is important in intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation occurs on the job and provides satisfaction while the job is being performed. Intrinsic or internal motivation includes status, authority, participation, challenging tasks, etc. Variety of work, freedom for direction, greater responsibility, opportunity for advancement are also intrinsic reward. And the next point, financial and non-financial motivation. All rewards have their own utility, but for the effective use of reward, certain guidelines should be followed. First, reward should be consistent, desired performance, and thirdly, workers must know in advance what rewards are available for successful performance on the job. Finally, we can say that it is important to understand that we are not all the same. Motivating our employees requires that we gain an understanding of the different types of motivation. Such as understanding will enable us to better categorize our team members and apply the appropriate type of motivation. Motivation is the work a manager performs to inspire, encourage, to record action. Motivation is the result of process internal and external to the individual to pursue a certain course of action. At the end of my class, enjoy it. We pray for everyone Almighty. I am requesting you to stay at home and be safe. Thank you, everybody, and thank you all, because COVID-19 breakout in the second stages and effect of our community and suffering from all over the people.